Hello, hello. Hey, my friends, Kat here. I hope you're doing really, really well. In this video tonight, I'm going to share with you why I don't have to ask myself the question, how do I get clients anymore? And how you can also remove that question completely from your life. I was chatting to a friend the other day and we were talking about how when we first started out as online coaches, and we really didn't have a clue how to get clients. And we'd both done our qualification as coaches. And I feel like in some ways we just thought that people were going to sign up with us really easily. Like, here I am, come and work with me. And we really had to get over that notion of that untruth and try things. We did a lot of experimenting and fumbling around and trying to figure things out, and eventually we both invested in getting help, and we learned how to get clients. And we were talking about just the fact that what it feels like on the other side of that, to know where your money's going to come from, to know that you can get clients whenever you want them, and the lightness that comes with that. It's like you can breathe again. And I just sometimes forget what it's like not to feel like that anymore, to not ever have to ask whether we've made the right decision to work for ourselves. We never have to think about where's my money going to come from. We don't have to worry about that. We never have to ever consider jumping on a job site and looking for a job. Like, that never, ever crosses my mind anymore. Because once you know the how, you don't have to ask those questions anymore. And when you learn the skills to provide for yourself, that to me is true freedom. I couldn't have this authentic relationship with myself, look myself in the mirror and truly say, I love you, and then do things that are out of alignment with what I truly deeply value. And freedom is such a high value. And having your own business and knowing how to get clients means you have financial freedom, you have physical freedom of not having to do anything physically, not emotional, mental, all these freedoms, lifestyle freedom, being able to get up when you want, being able to do life with whoever you want, being choosy with who you work with. Like, before I knew how to get clients, I didn't have that feeling of freedom. I had this underlying feeling, this stress, this chronic, like, I'm an optimist, I'm a positive person, but it was just this always obsessively looking at my bank account, obsessively thinking about how to get more money. And now, as a single woman, I live on my own. I'm not here with my family. I love that I just don't have to think about it anymore. I can have all of my needs provided for, and so many of my wants as well, because I've learned the skills. For me, it's the greatest gift I've ever given myself, to wake up every day and think, I love my life. I love it. It doesn't mean that my life's perfect. It just means that I never have to be constantly stressed trying to figure out how to do this thing. My energy now goes into, how can I serve at a higher level? How can I serve people? So if you'd like to be the kind of person that knows exactly how to get clients and creates that true freedom for yourself, this is for you. The biggest question that I get asked is, how do I get clients? And the method that I've been using for years and years and years to get the majority of my clients is through events. It's where I get most of my clients. It's where I've always got most of my clients. Now, it's not just at the event that I get clients, but it's everything around that. It's everything when you think about the positioning, the authority, the way you shift in someone's mind when you're willing to run an event. Think about when you post on social media, that post, if someone comes across that post, think about how they're feeling as opposed to someone coming across someone who's running an event. Because suddenly that person, it's like anyone can just like type up a bit of wording, but to run an event, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of care and attention that goes into that. So straight away, people see you differently. And in this day and age, particularly of online marketing, we need people to see us differently. We need to know how to stand out. And not many people are doing events really well. Anybody can sit down and create an event on Eventbrite, create an event on Facebook. That's the easy part. That's easy. But to actually get clients from events, that is the work. That's what I love helping people do. And when I realized that this was such a pattern, like I've worked in 3 different countries and started a business from scratch 4 times. And every single time I used it as a strategy, and I didn't really know what I was doing. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard that it's a good thing. I'm just going to give it a crack, give it a go. Didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't do it great. You know, I didn't understand the structure and all the different layers that goes into a presentation. I didn't get that, but I did keep doing it consistently so that I got better at it. Because there's one thing to know that that events is the thing. It's another thing to actually be able to do it well, and do it in a way that sustains you as a business owner. So in 2016, my friend Jess said to me, can you teach me everything you know about running events? I'd done 4 different speaking courses by that stage, and I really did want to share it, but I knew that the hundreds of hours that I'd put in to learning it, it would be so hard to teach someone one-on-one, you know, one by one. And the impact that you can really make just teaching one person, it had clicked to me that I needed to leverage my time. So I decided to teach it in a workshop, ran a workshop in person, and launched my very first version of how to get clients with online workshops. And back then it was called the Business of Speaking. It's evolved over the years. It's had many names. It then evolved to Speak to Influence. It's evolved, many different names and iterations. But I think from that point, like, one of the coolest things that happened was, I mean, I've run over 300 events now, but one of my favorites was a workshop that I ran at the Little Space in Bondi. And 6 people came, and it was just really intimate. We sat around a table and we workshopped together. It was a true workshop, not a seminar of me speaking all day. It was a true, like, let's start getting this done. Let's start building it out. And I sold a program on that day that was $3,000, and five of the women bought. And so I just remember thinking, you know, $15,000 for a day of hanging out with cool people, that's pretty cool. Like, that's cool. I want to teach people how to do that. Backtrack, when I was working as a personal trainer in a gym in London, 2011. So I'd moved from New Zealand over to London, and I was building my client database from scratch. And I started working at this gym called LA Fitness at St. Paul's. And because I didn't know anyone, and because I didn't really know the rules or how it all worked, I just showed up as soon as the gym would open, and the trainers would come in, and I just kind of observed them. And I distinctly remember thinking, they're like a pack of dogs. They are just like, woof. As soon as the members start coming into the gym, they are just at them, like, yap. And I remember thinking, gosh, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be one of those people that is like interrupting people's workouts, disrupting people, being pushy. I didn't want people to like avoid me when they came across me at the gym, and so I could, you know, pounce on them like a victim. And I was so used to getting clients without having to use any of those techniques. I had a full book of business when I worked in a gym in New Zealand, and so I just remember thinking, I've got to do things differently. And it was scary because I didn't want to compromise my values. I was thinking, is this the only way that I'm going to actually survive in London? London rent is so expensive, and I was paying rent at home and rent at the gym, and I was starting from scratch. There was no grace period. It was literally, you need to get clients. So it was this moment of like, am I going to compromise my values, which are connection, building relationships, being elegant in the way that I invite people to work with me. And so I trusted that, and I did that, and it worked. So I ended up building back a full book of clients again by not having to compromise my values, which was really cool. And when I was there, I ran an event. I met this awesome couple, Justin and Alea, and they were really good at running events. And I said, I really want to run an event. It's how I got so many clients in New Zealand and they said, we'll help you. So they helped me run this really cool event in the basement of this pub, and lots of people came. It was a free event, and it just kick-started the snowball. It wasn't like that's how I got clients at that one event, but it was suddenly I differentiated myself from the other trainers. It just has worked so well for me everywhere I've turned up. When I got to Sydney, in order to build my client database back up, it was again I ran little events in studios and gyms and libraries. And when I changed my niche to work with business owners, I decided I wanted to kind of take that same model and bring it online. So again, whole new way of looking at things of, do I want to do it like these cheesy webinars that I'd seen where they felt quite hypey and quite fake, and I just kind of didn't want a bar of webinars. And for years I just put it off. But then I realized, the online world is here to stay, and you can actually do it in your own way. You don't have to do it in a way that's, I'm going to talk about my sob story and then how I went from rags to riches, and then I'm going to give them a little bit of value, but just tease them, but not really give them any key actions or takeaways, and then do this big, massive, long sales pitch. I just didn't resonate very well with that. By the way, it's so good to have you here live. If you're here live, can you just give me a hashtag live so I know who's here? Thank you for joining me, and great to see you, ladies. Hello. Yeah. If you're watching the replay, just put a hashtag replay. And I'd love to know, are you the kind of person also who feels a bit icky with some of those traditional ways of marketing yourself through webinars? Does anybody else feel like that? Just put a yes if you resonate with any of that. I didn't want it to be just this big long monologue about me, and then just selling and pushing. And I just didn't want a bar of that. I didn't align with that. I value relationships. I value connection. I wanted people to have opportunities in my events for community, for processing. I wanted to involve people in the learning, because when we process, when we talk about what we're learning, we share with other people, we retain more. And so that's really important to me. I wanted to also help people take action, to walk away with not just like this big to-do list that's overwhelming, but to actually walk away with tangible action steps, key takeaways. And it's something I always get in my feedback forms afterwards, is that I got takeaways. Thank you, Kat. I know what I'm doing. I've got clarity. I've had breakthrough moments. And that's what I love about events, is you can have such incredible breakthrough moments. Think about the events that you've been to, particularly one-day events, and how it feels like you transform an event so much more than you do just reading a book, looking at an article. Who would agree? Have you had those moments where you've just had some breakthrough experience in a one-day event? And it's not just because of what you're learning. It's not just the content. It's the content plus the processing with other people, plus the Q&A, plus the examples, the bringing it to life, the whole thing. I'm just such a fan, because when you gather people in community, the whole experience is heightened. And for me, I just couldn't get that same feeling one-on-one. I loved one-on-one. I did one-on-one for 8 years until I went into the one-to-many model. I had all these fears about how I'm an introvert and I'm just a one-on-one person. I used to actually say, I can't believe those words actually came out of my mouth. I'm a one-on-one person, as though you're just this person and you can never change. What? Doesn't make any sense. But I decided to overcome all those fears. What if people don't come? All the classic fears and doubts that come up. And, some of you I know have done events. The question I have for you is, what is your next level? What is your next level? Because there's always a next level. And I often say to people, if you don't have a workshop in your calendar, make that a priority as a business owner, because that's how you get the financial freedom. That's how unless you want to spend all your days on sales calls one by one, this is how you leverage your time. This is how you bring such an impactful experience to people, such a meaningful, significant difference in people. And over the last 6 years, I've been teaching people how to run events. And realizing that it's not just events, it's not just webinars, it's really workshops. It's workshops that are the thing. And workshops are the thing that they're more intimate, they're more personal, they're more action focused, which means they're more effective at actually getting people results. So people who don't buy your offer, they can still come and get great value, get great results. They're more fun. Who would agree? It's more fun doing transformation with others. Thanks for your comments there. I will respond to all of them after I jump off. And they're more transformational. And this is the reason that people keep coming back. So if you have similar values, if you're the kind of person that values connection, that values providing value where people actually have action steps, if you're wanting to sign up awesome clients consistently, I believe workshops are the best thing. This is why I don't have to ask myself that question anymore. And there are really three parts to never having to ask that question ever again of how do I get clients. The first one is knowing what to do. So you can know that workshops is the thing, but still not be doing it. The second thing is knowing how to do it. So anybody can run an event. I used to run events where I didn't know what I was doing, and it was still mildly successful, but not great, not a high conversion. Obviously, the first time you do it is never going to be your best time. You get better and better and better, and you grow. So the second part is knowing how to do it, learning the structure, the strategy, all the different things that goes into. There's three parts. The first part is creating the actual presentation and what should go in there, how to provide massive value without giving it all away so that no one wants to continue working with you. So there's the presentation. Then there's the delivery. So how to make your events engaging, compelling, so that people stay to the end. And then the third part is the marketing, how to actually get people to come. So when you think about how do I do this, it's really the third part is doing it over and over and over again so that you master it. So if you're willing to not just know that this is the best strategy, not just knowing how to do it, but also actually doing it over and over and over so that you improve on it, then you have a valuable asset. Then you can say, I never have to worry about money again. I never have to, because you've built that skill. And so if you feel like, I feel like so far off that skill, obviously the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. So if you haven't been consistent, if you don't have a workshop in your calendar right now, I would recommend this is the thing. And everything else around it supports it. I encourage funnels, I encourage lead magnets, I encourage content strategies, but all of those things, they aren't the bulk. Those are like additions. Unless you're a world-class copywriter, you're just a magnificent writer, it's really very hard to build a six-figure business just from your writing. So that's something I love about workshops, is that you get to show up, you get to talk about what you love, and it's not just who you enroll in the workshop, it's the credibility it gives you, the positioning, all the other invites you get to speak on other people's summits. I got 3 clients recently from one summit. I showed up, I spoke for 30 minutes, I didn't have to prepare, and people came onto my calendar because I've built that system. So yes, you do need to build out a back end as well, but that supports the skill of presenting. So if you want to learn how to do this, the world has changed, as we know, and if you're not running online events, I believe you're getting left behind. If you want to share your message in a bigger way, if you've got something really valuable to share, just write the word value if you know you have value to offer the world. Write the word value if you know you can help people, if you know you have value in your knowledge, in your experience, if you've been through some stuff, and if you organize it up in a way where you can use that to inspire people. And if you get a formula for the strategy, for the presentation, so that you can actually really take your message out into the world, from everything that you've gathered over so many years, and you package it up in a way that can really help people, then you can absolutely have the skill where you never have to worry about how to get clients again. It's possible. I've done it myself. I've helped so many people do it as well. So I know a lot of you want to achieve more than you're achieving right now. I know that there is a next level for you. And so I want to extend an invitation to you to my upcoming workshop. This is the first time I've talked about it on social media. I haven't run this event for 2 years, and it's back. It's back. So it's called How to Get Clients with Online Workshops. I'm showing you the best structure, the best strategy, everything, the best of everything I've learned over the last 10 plus years of running events. I've packaged it, I've organized it into only the best stuff, and I'm presenting it in this workshop. So it's coming up in a few weeks. If you want a seat, it's limited to 30 seats. I'm limiting this to keep it small, to keep it intimate, to keep it really personal, so that you can get like your personal questions answered. It just allows for a really nice tailored approach. So DM me the word workshop if you want to get an invitation, and I'll send you all the details. I'm going to be going through those 3 things of how to, first of all, create the presentation in a way that builds desire in your audience. It establishes you as the authority, and it dissolves objections. I'm teaching you how to deliver a world-class workshop in a way that creates engagement and connection and elegantly shares great value with people. And then how to market your workshop so that the right people actually turn up. So I'm sharing all of my secrets, pulling back the curtains on the hats that I use to get the right people to register and show up. Even if you're just starting out. So DM me the word workshop if you're interested, and I will send you all the details. Thank you for being here. I'd love to know what stood out to you from what I shared. I've shared some of my stories. I've shared some of the journey that I've been through. What stood out to you? I would really love to know. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'm going to read every single comment and reply. So until next time, keep showing up and sharing your message, because the world really needs it. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.